So one of the things that I find in my own leatherwork is that I battle to get a really clean scarf with the other designs that were out there. So I made something for myself. So the cool thing about this knife is the edge is reversible. So what that means is you can use the knife in that rotation, or you can swap it over and use the knife in that rotation. So what I've got here is just a piece of veg tan leather. This piece around about 1.4 mil thick. And I'm going to start with the sharp corner of that knife. So what I like to do is first, and what you can do is, when you're first starting skiving, you can do a pencil mark going down your leather. But I've done this so many times that I know more or less where half an inch is, or 12 mils, which is the scarf that I'm doing now. So to start that off, sharp corner first, and what I'm going to do is, I'm just setting that scarf. So all I'm doing is letting that knife just set I'll show you that there. So all I've done is I've created a score mark. Now that score mark gives me obviously a nice clean look of where my scarf is going to be running, and it gives me a nice direction of where the rest of the scarf is going to be going through. What I do is then I turn that knife to where the corner, this is obviously a right-handed version, I'm right-handed, where the corner is now on the edge. And what I like to do is over here is get that corner and start working that corner just through that score line that I previously set up. Now, as you'll notice as well, guys, my scarfing technique is a little bit different. And you may notice my fingers sitting here on top of the leather. So I just want to point out this is a very sharp blade. And when I am doing this, my fingers are on top of the leather. They're not here in front of it. So if this blade had to slip for lack of controlling the knife, my fingers would run underneath it. So what I'm going to do is obviously caution safety, like everything when you're working with your hands. And keep your fingers on top of that leather if you're wanting to use my strange technique of skiving. So I'm just going to keep on going slowly through this piece of leather over here. And you can just rock this knife back, and you can either rock it back and forth and then push through. Now what I always like to tell people about skiving as well when I've had students in the past is work the knife which feels most comfortable, in the way that feels most comfortable for you. I think there's no technique that suits every single person exactly the same. The key factors that you want to do when you're working with any sharp tool is always make sure where your edge is, and obviously keep that blade razor sharp. Keeping a blade super razor sharp is where the least accidents come. It's often when people are working with a dull tool or a blunt tool and trying to force the blade to do a job where accidents happen. So keep your knives nice and sharp. So I'm going to keep going through the skive over here, and slowly just working my way through it. And what I like to do is now, when I'm around about 1 mil from that scarf breaking through, you'll see my fingers were on top of that edge the whole time. So when that leather is about 1 millimeter from breaking through to the other side, I'll often just bring that edge of the knife through on the one side. So what I've done is now, I've created a little place, so you can see what's happening over there. So what I like to do is then keep my finger just on the one side and let that edge of the knife break through the scarf. And there you have a nice clean scarf. So now obviously this works really nice. This type of scarf that I've done now works really nice for doing a seam work where you'd glue that together, stitch that up, and then do your edge coating over there. Nice, neat, thin seam.